Hey, this is MS25. Welcome to the secret of black hole. Let's start with a question. How long does it take to get to the moon? 4 days, 14 days, 40 days or 84 days? Before I answer the question, you can comment your answers if you wish to. The number of days to get to the moon actually depends on the speed of the spacecraft and the route taken to get there. It may be 4 days or 84 days. Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) have the most efficient way to get to the moon. Chandrayaan 3. The Moon Mission. In this video, I am going to tell you the route taken by Chandrayaan 3 to get from Earth to Moon. The whole route from Earth to Moon can be divided into 3 parts: orbiting the Earth, orbiting the Moon, landing on the Moon. Let us obviously start with the first part first, orbiting the Earth. On 14 July, LV-M3-M4 vehicle successfully launched Chandrayaan 3 into orbit. Finally, Chandrayaan 3 has begun its journey to the moon. From July 15th, it was orbiting in an orbit which is 41,762 km by 173 km, as on 15 July, the first orbiting raising maneuver was performed. On July 17th, the second of this orbiting raising maneuver was performed to get the spacecraft on 41603 km by 226 km orbit. Now, the fourth and the final orbiting raising maneuver was performed on 22nd July to get the spacecraft on 71351 km by 233 km orbit. Now, at last, one more orbiting raising maneuver was performed, but this time it was not to raise the orbit around the Earth. This orbiting maneuver was actually done on 25th July to put the spacecraft in a translunar orbit, basically traveling from Earth to Moon. This gets us to the second part of our journey, orbiting the Moon. On 1st August, our spacecraft was inserted into translunar orbit. The dimension of this orbit is actually very big, that is around 3,70,000 by 300 kilometers. During the exit from the Earth, spacecraft have to perform few orbiting raising maneuver. So during the entry into the moon, it has to perform few orbiting lowering maneuver. First of these maneuver was performed on 5th August that lowered the orbit and the spacecraft goes to 18,000 by 164 km orbit around the moon. And again, a second maneuver was performed on 9th August which lowered the orbit of our Chandrayaan 3 to 1400 km by 174 km orbit around the moon. This gets us to our final part of the journey, landing on the moon. If you have noticed, till now the spacecraft was traveling in an elliptical shaped orbit or oval shaped orbit. But from 14th August, it is performing orbit circularization process. This means it will now try to travel in a 100 by 100 circular orbit around the moon. From 18th August, the spacecraft is getting closer to the moon by getting as close as 30 kilometers from the moon. Finally, on 23rd August, the lander named Vikram will start a soft landing process to get to the moon surface. So the answer is, the total time taken by Chandrayaan 3 to get to the moon was approx 40 days. It may not be the fastest, but it is the most efficient and the cost-effective way to get there. Thank you for watching the video. This is my first video, so please do share this video and subscribe the channel.